That's where we're going. Back like a bad habit. Welcome to another episode of Papa G's House. As usual, my illustrious co-host, Arthur Carlos Diego Pereira III, who is very rigorously picking his nose.
Sorry.
Welcome, dude.
Hey, man.
To another episode, 114.
Yeah, 114. Who would have thought
114.
we've gotten to 113? But we did. Now it's 114. Now
Yeah.
what are we going to do? Now there's going to be 115, 16, 120? Is it
Let's
gonna
go.
Keep going?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Just
check.
Well, at the rate, I mean, the way Rick's episode performed, they want us to do silly shit.
Yeah, but everybody just likes to see people fucking suffer.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I'm all for, because I watch people suffer as well, and I make them suffer on occasion. Hi, Kev. Good to see
Hey!
you.
How do you make him suffer?
Just by being around him, really.
I can imagine that. But we're back with another episode. You know, we had a free day today, and we decided, you know, let's make this a fun one. And we reached out and we got the services of, some may know him as Charles Knighton-Pullin, but others may know him as Blaze.
Blaze.
Dude.
Hey, Blaze.
Charles KP, Charles Knighton-Pullin, Blaze, the Rockefeller. What's up, my dude?
In your ears and in your face.
We stopped doing that a while
blah, blah,
ago.
blah, blah, disgrace.
Yeah, motherfucking disgrace.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah, man. Shot for joining the show. It's been a long time. I think you
thanks.
on like episode 12 or something.
Yeah, 12 is a good number. I think.
Yeah. But it's
One
it's
and
been a
two.
long time since we've been on camera, but you are sporting the
Hangover glasses.
hangover glasses, also
It's true.
the fattest mullet in the Western Cape right now.
Thanks to your hairspray, man.
Yeah. It's looking fly.
And
Do you
it's not hairs spray, it's hairspray. Singular.
Singular. Yeah, I was about to say.
Hair's spray. Do you still rock a wig on stage with the Rockefellers, or are you just going all natural now these days?
No, wig. It's made out of
Is
black
it?
bags. Pretty much.
With the fan?
Cut down finely.
You still using the fan?
No, don't get a fan anymore.
Why?
Because
Cutting
we have
costs?
more fans.
Ah, shit.
They're
But
all
it's-
they're
I
all
walked
over
straight
60.
into that joke.
So.
I think with Charles over the years, it went from the hair being a focal point to now the nipples,
Yeah.
because your nipples are always out.
Brett the Nipman Hart.
Yes, Brett the Nip Man Hart.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
amazing. But dude, you've had a whirlwind
Sweet
couple of
nip
years,
music.
eh?
Yeah. My nipples have been
Yeah,
all over the place.
They're cutting diamonds.
Dude, I'm ready to rob a bank whenever someone else joins.
That's the glasses, bro. That's your camouflage.
I'll join you in the robbing a bank scenario because, as we were speaking earlier, holy shit, V-drum stuff is expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, once again, we had a podcast before the podcast. But yeah, V-drums are ridiculously expensive. We spoke of two people who had plus 100,000 Rand kits.
Can I tell you why?
Why?
Because it's V. Very expensive,
Okay.
drums.
That's
That does make sense.
That's
Otherwise,
pretty
it
lame.
would be drums.
No, dude, because like as I was tuning him earlier, I'm looking at ways of either upgrading or upgrading my electronic kit setup for live shows. And you could go the route with like a sound card and then a computer and then running like a superior drummer and then going through another box to split out the signals to the desk. But then that brings latency, and then the easiest and best way is like a TD30 brain, which you can't get anymore. It's out of, it's discontinued. Or the V50 brain. And you can get the V50 brain with a snare and a ride, and it's like 69 grand.
Yes, that's crazy. That
Yeah.
sounds inordinate amount of money.
It's absolutely mad. Because like when we play, if I want to adjust the levels of something, I have to do it through the module and dive through the menus. And I can only do that when I'm not playing. So the best way to do it is to send out all those channels to the desk, and then the guy could fuck with it. But yeah, it's 69 grand.
It's always
Jesus.
a tough thing. I mean, we've had this conversation a few times, but for instance, Charles himself has decided to go back to tube amps and stuff like that. He's recently
Sold his Kemper.
He swapped his Kemper.
Yeah. He
Give us
swapped
the
the
details
trade.
on how that all went down, because you've got a philosophy, and I kind of agree with it, that Kemper's been around for a long time, and you reckon it may, there's going to be upgrades coming soon, and then that version of the Kemper is going to reduce in cost rapidly.
Yeah, like it's, I don't know, like a lot of digital stuff, when something else comes out, it should be better than the next thing. So it's like, it's baked into the whole philosophy of digital stuff.
Yeah.
You don't get an old digital camera and be like, woo.
Well, we just did today.
Sick, bro. Yeah, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, I used the Kemper a lot. I was never super stoked on it. Even when we did demos, remember, I was like bitching about it.
Yeah.
Then
There was that one demo we did where it just sounded like amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, you can get awesome sounds out of this kind of stuff, which is great. For me, it's just not for me. Like, I want some knobs,
Knobs.
It's baked into my personality as well, so I love a knob.
Yeah, for sure.
And so
Too many knobs can be a bit much, though, huh?
Yeah, but you only have two hands. All these
yeah,
knobs.
that's why you
Precisely
just
my point.
that's why you just over all the knobs and then turn them up to 666 on a 5150, and then you're good.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Sorry, wrong direction. I think you'd have to go that way.
Speaking of 5150, you were the person who really
That's made by Laney, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay. You were the person that actually taught me about all this shit back in the day. I mean, we had this conversation moons ago, but I think we can relive it in the sense that you taught me the difference between tube, solid state, and all that kind of jazz. And as you start gaining a little bit more knowledge over the years, you start realizing the difference and stuff. And it's actually knowledge that is extremely helpful when you know what to choose, when you want to know what to choose. So, you get guys I can imagine how many of these dudes at these shops where guys walk in and they don't really know what they want. And they're like, I want something like this. And they go, well, do you want solid state? Do you want tube? And they're like, what do you mean? Bless you. Bless you. Get the sneeze counter as opposed to the burp counter this week.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any tubes in the TD console.
No,
TD
if they were,
50 or whatever.
jeez, I wouldn't want to deal with that fucking hassle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you've
I
gone
think,
back
I think you got
analog.
a good point there. Like, a lot of kids starting out, or people, they'll go to a shop and be like, oh, I want this. They don't really know what it is that they're looking for. When I was young and I loved Metallica and all that shit, I was like, I had no idea what they used. I saw like a Boss GT pedal and I thought, that thing's got like the most amount of shit on it. I bet if I had that thing, then I would sound like those people. I had no idea that like that was modeling a sound of another amp. I didn't even know what an amp was. I had a Zoom 505.
Even me, GFX 505.
I didn't have a guitar amp for like 4 years, and I plugged it into computer speakers, and that's what I fucking used. So
on the Zoom 505 707, Sean Olsen actually used my Zoom 707 for his clean tones at Metal for Africa.
Yeah.
The clean tones are great, but as we've learnt,
Yeah.
the distorted tones are left to be desired.
Yeah.
Does it have that delay when you switch channels?
No, I don't think they
Like
do
the
that. It
Bosses.
just sounds like a wall of
Noise.
muff fuzz.
Oh, so it's like a really, really bad middle zone.
It's like, when you plug a guitar, like a metal zone into a PA. Mm-hmm. It's like that with the high end like cut off.
Oh,
So
so
it's-
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
MIDI.
Well, it's just shitty.
Not many, it's shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah. Well, he also introduced me because you were talking about Boss GT. I used
There's
you gave
specific
no. You get you feel me?
I
got
can
you.
see
I got
you.
I
can see
where
you
you
real
taught me.
good.
You taught me the 4-cable method, where you can actually go through the loop and use the amps gain, but use the pedals clean channels.
It's actually
what I'm
5
using
cable
with
if you're
us.
switching the channels of the amps. 5 cables.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, I mean 5 including the speaker cable that goes to the.
No, that's 6.
No.
It's changing the amps channel. It's the 5th cable.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway.
No, but that you see now that just goes straight over my head. I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
Gareth, I thought you were a guitarist, not a drummer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Just to count to above,
Hey.
above 4.
so, dude, what's your solution?
For what?
But the V drums and stuff like that. Are you going to keep because you've got a V kit, and like Charles said, it doesn't. It doesn't really sound any different. It's just about the sturdiness.
It's not really. I mean, it's not really about the sound. There is a massive difference from what I'm using already with my current module to this TD50, because you can really model the type of drum you're using, depth, everything. Even the room, you can give it like a room mic sound. You can even tweak all that stuff to make it sound.
But
bigger.
can't you use VSTs through?
But that's the thing. If I have to do that, I would have to get a new machine that's quick enough with a good sound
to
card.
be able to handle it.
Then I'll have to get an interface to run it through, and then I'll have to get the software to play it through, and then I'll have to get I'm not sure what it is, but there's something that you connect it to that splits the channels from the computer to send it to the desk. And then with all of that, it will add latency to what I'm playing. So like I hit it, and then like a few milliseconds later, the sound will actually generate. So that's kind of like off-putting. So the best thing and
is acoustic drums.
There's acoustic drums, but like with this 50th birthday, that never would have happened.
But
so with
can't
this
for those small, tiny. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
That's fine.
If you got 1 gig in every 20 is with an electric kit, surely you can live with what you've got.
Well, with the deadbeats, it's more like 1 gig out of every 20 is with a real kit.
Oh, is all deadbeat stuff?
Yeah.
How was your gig this weekend, by the way?
It was, well, we started playing the first of 3 sets, and everyone was upstairs. And then they came downstairs towards the end of our set, and then we took a break and we started again, and they told us to play softer while they were eating. And then like we split the second set up into another 2, and then we split our third set into like another 2. And then there was just like people dancing to the weirdest stuff. And then the hunt from New Model Army didn't go down that well, but we enjoyed it.
But how do you play softer?
Well, that's
just
the
turn
thing.
everything down.
Yeah, because I was using my V drums, we just turn the levels down. Yeah, but that TD50 unit, the bonus is it's got direct outs, so it eliminates the latency issue as much as humanly possible, and that's what I want. But it's 69 grand, and I don't have the money for that.
But also, if I can interrupt you, like the thing that people don't really understand is anything that's digital has its own CPU on board. So like even something like a Camper or an Axifex, there's a processing speed that happens. So I remember having this arguments on Facebook.
Oh yeah, that's rare.
Where like someone is saying, oh, it's negligible. Like you can't tell the difference between, 3 milliseconds or whatever. And then I was like, no, but you can.
You can actually.
Because I can tell on my computer with 3 milliseconds. Now, here's a scenario, right? I've got a Camper, let's say. It has a processing speed of 3 milliseconds. Then I have a digital wireless system. That's got a processing speed of 2.5 milliseconds.
Yes.
So that's 5.5, 6 milliseconds or whatever.
Yep.
Then someone's argument is, someone's argument is, if you're standing 5 meters away from your speaker cabinet on stage, there's a latency traveling speed of sound of 5 milliseconds. No, that's the truth. But that's compounded because now it's basically 5 plus 5.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so like all of these things, they delay. That's why audio cables, anything that isn't digital is like about as fast as electricity.
Yeah.
And that's why you have this immediate pick attack, this immediate, with acoustic drums or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And, this is the thing that I think like classical musicians or whatever, they've never had to struggle with stuff like this. You play a violin, it's right by your ear. it is, you're dealing with the traveling, like the speed of sound. But I mean, humans not really worried about that because that's always going to be,
Yeah, no, I've played my kits through computer once before when I was doing those things that I want to those covers, doing that, and I was doing the playback from the computer, and it was distracting how much the latency was throwing me off. Because it's like with the drum, you instinctively want to make the sound when you hit it, and then if you hear it like almost flamming, it throws you off. Yeah. So the more stuff I have to go through to get the desk engineer means the more latency means it's going to be a shitter gig for me.
But I also, I agree with that. The struggle I've always had is that it doesn't sound right, but I think most of the time it's not responding correctly.
Yeah.
So you sit, dicking around with the sound to try and get it more, trebly, or try and get it more,
the memory is also trying to keep up.
Yeah.
So but those are all factors you need to take
You're trying to get it to be more in your face because in your brain, you're like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
But it's actually because there's the timing delay, and you're just sitting around changing the sound, hoping that you can overcome that, but you can't.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to get the TD50 brain, because I cut out all that shit and go straight from the unit.
Okay.
But then another thing with latency, I've got in my bookmarks on my on my browser from the 2017 Cricket World Cup. There was a Google homepage game. Sometimes you go to Google and there's like a little game you can play. And it was like these ants playing cricket, and you hit like the space bar or the mouse click, and then you hit the ball once it's bowled to you. I still play it all the time. What? I have to play that game with the keyboard that's on the laptop that is playing through, because if I use my Bluetooth mouse, there's such a slight delay that I will actually not hit the ball exactly when I want to. And that's a Bluetooth thing.
Yeah.
I always wondered if anybody really played those games that Google did.
I clapped the shit out of that. My best score was like 420.
It's like, what's that Guitar Hero, whatever. Dude, I can never play that game because people play it with their eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
And they go when the thing, I don't even know what happens. There's like a thing and then a ball or something has to...
Yeah, it's like the color codes comes down.
And I'm playing it at the time. That it's audible, and those are two different things. Other people, I don't want to sound like a dick or whatever, but if you played an instrument for and if you played an instrument for 20 years, you practice to be immediate.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's not about your eyes. It's about when this happens, it's connected to your ear. Yeah. Whereas everyone else is I press down, So I could never play it because I was always missing.
Yeah, I used to play Guitar Hero a lot, and I was pretty good at it, but that's also because I can't play guitar for shit.
Yeah, I've never tried it, and I tried it once on computer, and I didn't even know my ass from my elbow.
Remember at Kill City when it was next door to Mercury, they used to have their PlayStation 2, and they had Guitar Hero on there.
It was in the corner.
It was at Kill City.
Yeah, so the one, because I played it quite a lot at that time, and there was some songs I knew off by heart just because of the rhythm and the root,
Do you
the rhythm
even through the fire and the flames, bro?
No, I didn't do that. I'm not a fan.
That Dragon Force.
Yeah. But I put on it was a Pantera song, and then I was playing, and then they were watching me. So then I turned around, and I was looking at everyone while playing it, and I was hitting the notes. And everyone was what the fuck?
You were ba-da-da-da.
Just because I knew the sequence of the buttons.
Yeah.
I wasn't even. It was just like that kind of. It was fucking funny.
Dude, it reminds me of Soundcheck. When I first started playing live, I obviously didn't know what to do, and I would. When the first show at Raw was insane for me. The day before, I was crying. I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do. I didn't feel like I was prepared enough and all that jazz. Got on stage, and for sound check.
Yeah.
And when they say, okay, guitar right or guitar left, I was stumped. I didn't know what to do. It's now I feel like I'm in Paul Botner's. I'm 12 years old, trying to find my first guitar, trying to figure out a riff. And do you know that? I mean, I'm sure you've had it when you go into a store. Obviously, you don't have that now. Where you freak out. Holy shit! I'm stumped, and I've done that a few times. So what I've done now, especially for our gig coming up, when they go guitar 1 or whatever, I've learnt a few songs that I'm going to use to sound check, so I know exactly what I'm going to do. Anyway, I don't know how did we even get to that,
Dude, I want to continue with
it's
that
like
thing.
we've been sitting on the toilet for half an hour.
No, we got that
how
from,
did I get
yeah, anyway.
With sound check, what I normally do is that I don't try and do a drum solo. What I do is, because I know what the sound engineer wants to hear a few things from the drums, like levels. So I play like a repetitive thing where I go like double kick and then double snare and double kick and then tom 1 and double kick and then floor tom.
Okay.
I do that, and when he wants to hear cymbals, I do like kick, snare, cymbal, 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 kick, snare, cymbal, and I go between
guitar?
the left
That's
and
when the
right.
guitar solo happens.
No, like when that stuff happens, I sit still. But it's like, if he wants to hear just the hi-hat, I give him the hi-hat. When he says like play something, then I play like a very basic thing. I do it like that pattern with the double kicks and the double strokes, but like slow. And I do it with the open hat for a couple of measures, and I do it with the open hat for a couple of measures, and I do it with the ride a couple of measures, and I do a crash cymbal a couple of measures, and it's like super basic, and it works really well. Because the worst thing is to see is when you go like, okay, drummer, just play something, and they go, and they only like do like a ride and a snare and a kick drum, and it's like, it's not fucking doing anything.
Can I interrupt you just
Yo.
on the topic of measures and bars and stuff like that?
Yeah.
My number one pet peeve, it must be yours as well, when you're like in a band, they go like, oh, let's do like 4 bars of that, and they're meeting like 4 times, and I go like, no, it's not 4
bars
times.
doesn't mean 4 times.
Yeah.
We do that all the time.
All the bars.
Well, that's why it's bars and measures and not bars. Measures, bars.
No,
and-
measure is a bar.
Yeah, measure is a bar.
No, but yes, okay.
You want to say like you want to you want to
A measure
they
is-
say they want to do it
a
4
measure-
times. Let's do that.
But
that
my
rip 4
understanding,
times.
A measure
we
is the
play,
American terminology for a bar. So you get like a whole note, which is like a breathe,
section.
semi-breathe,
Section.
sorry.
Let's call it a section. But
Yeah.
we do call it measure when we practice.
No, normally we go like play the verse 4 times or the
Yeah,
chorus
yeah,
4
yeah.
times. we
I
do
heard
that
measure.
No.
because
I'll fight you.
Anyway,
it's just a
low
repetition.
key high five. Side five.
Yeah, no, it drives me nuts as well because that's not a bar.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
the same
like,
thing as
are,
when-
are we going to end at the same time then? Are you
Oh,
going to carry
are you
on
gonna come
another
with
3
me?
times? Yeah.
The other thing that's also annoying, which I got schooled on not too long ago, and now I get annoyed by it,
Triplets.
is when triplets.
Dude. It's a gallop is not a triplet.
That's not a
a
triplet.
quaver,
When you
2
do this-
semiquaver.
When you do that, that's not a
Yeah,
triplet.
it's da-da-da, 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 da-da-da.
Yeah, it's like you're playing 3 notes between each beat, or either quarter. Through each quarter note, you play 3. That's a triplet. So you're like 1, 2, 3,
3 in
4,
the space
1,
of 2,
3,
essentially.
Well,
Correct.
we had this. He broke down the wall with me. I sent him the video. Oh no, I didn't send him the video. We both watched it together after recording a previous podcast, and I played him the Rick Beato breakdown of Seal Kiss from a Rose, and he sits here and he goes, "Oh, I fucking hate this song," and I said, "No, it's like one of my favorite songs of all
Yeah,
time."
no, you don't.
And he's like, "Oh, I hate any songs that are on 3/4." And I was like, "Huh?" I know Rick Beato brought it up, but you brought it up before Rick Beato brought it up.
Well, when you said "Kiss from a Rose," like, that song's in 6/8,
3/4.
3/4.
And then
I'm like, no,
and you know what? This is something that really freaking bothers me.
really?
No, not you.
Okay,
not
no,
liking
me,
3/4.
okay, 'cause
No,
my
no, it's
opinion
got
shouldn't
nothing-
bother you
no,
at all.
No, absolutely not. We wouldn't be here having
Yeah,
our
who gives a
podcast
fuck?
together if we weren't, you know. But the thing that bothers me is that I can't still to this day understand the whole 3, 4, 6, 8. Who do we
Who
appreciate?
do you congratulate?
I
Me!
knew-
That blew my
Congratulate
mind.
me!
But I really and then you sat there and you were keeping
Yeah.
time and you're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2,
Correct.
3. But still, in my mind, it's just I'm hearing music.
It's
you know,
compound time versus like straight up. So anything with 8's basically got a subdivision of 8th notes. So it's 3 in the space of like 1. So it's like a dotted crotchet. So it has that Lamb of God feel for you metal motherfuckers out there.
Yes, because
It
Lamb of
basically
God's one of my
means
favorite
like
bands.
da 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 da.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,
So the
1, 2,
beat,
3.
so 12/8 and 4/4 is the same,
Yeah.
but the subdivision is different. It's 4/4 would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4,
Yeah.
and 12/8 would be 1 and 2 and da 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 da.
Yeah, but it's still got the feel of a
It's
four.
still
No,
got
but you
4
understand how
beats in a
that
bar.
angers me and frustrates me that I feel like I'm stupid and I can't understand.
Well, the basic thing is like if like a 3/4 is it's at most minimal, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,
waltzing time, waltzing time, waltzing.
I
Matilda.
I hate that. That fucking sucks. Stop playing it. I don't
It's a
like
Tom Jones song. What's it? Why, oh, why, Delilah?
Yeah, all that shit. I don't know. I cannot listen to anything that's. I mean, like Temple of the Dog. I've got the CD.
What about Kiss from a Rose, bro?
Oh,
What a
fuck
great
that.
song.
I've got the CD of Temple of the Dog, which I got from Cash Crusaders for like $4. There's 2 songs in there I listen to because all of them are like in 3/4, 6/8. I don't
Joe
know.
Satriani, always with you, always with me. 3/4.
You know,
Good.
I think I told you that I saw Joe Satriani play when I was in London,
I did as well at the Royal
Yeah.
Albert Hall.
Yeah,
with Steve Vai
and Robert.
all
Fripp.
the rest of my friends, you know. Peace out, guys.
Hey, no,
saw-
Yingu wasn't
I
there.
haven't seen you in a long time.
Yingu wasn't.
He was on the T-shirt, but they got Robert Fripp instead.
I was
Okay.
at the
Oh,
Robert Fripp
yeah.
one. Was it 2004?
Yeah,
Were you there?
I think, yeah.
That's
I got
crazy.
the T-shirt. I got the, at the Royal
I'm gonna have
Albert
a
Hall.
high
Did you
five
get the
counter.
t-shirt?
Dude, at the Royal
Yes.
Albert Hall, there was an oak that shouted like, because he sat on the stool the whole fucking time.
Yeah, he said,
And then he-
just
and then
play a
someone-
fucking keyboard.
No way! No, legit. They were like,
Yes.
"You got 6 strings on that guitar. Use them." Or
Yeah,
some shit
they
like
were
that.
like, it just totally went over their heads. It was the most amazing
It was
thing
like from
ever.
the back. Yeah.
But like that concert, I
I
kind
had to
of.
leave and get a drink because I was like, "Fuck."
Oh damn, dude! Did you
was-
catch the whole thing? You
No,
did?
I did from the bar mostly.
Okay. But like when I went, they
It was like
added extra.
overkill. Like
Yeah,
it was 3 hours, and I was like, "Bro,
yeah,
I loved that shit back then." But I was like, I need a break.
yeah. No, but when I went there, or when we went there, sorry,
Yeah.
they added in extra seats like at the last
feel
minute,
left
and
out
it was right. It was like on the bleachers, but like right behind the front of the stage, and now
Yeah, yeah.
that's where I was. I was on stage left side.
Yeah.
And then Robert Fripp was on stage right, and he was just with his effects rack, and he was just doing his bit, which was amazing. And then those tools were fucking tuning him. And then Steve Vai played, and he was so fucking cool that he felt like he looked at everyone in the eyes. Like he just walked around and looked at everyone. He waved to
Yeah.
everybody. Fucking Joe Satriani.
He
just
had
looked-
he had his township hat on.
Yeah, he had his township hat on, he had sunglasses, but he only looked forward in that V. He didn't go anywhere to the left or to the right, and he was just focused on the front. And I was
But
this
I mean,
guy's a dick.
dude, that could be amazing that we might have been at the same show. And then there was Tony Mac and also Billy Sheehan on bass.
Yes.
And Steve Vai. Well, they had like the main drummer. I think it was the same drummer the whole show.
No, it was a
But
different
he had like the spiky,
Yeah, Steve
like
Vai- Steve
peroxide.
Vai's
Yeah,
drummer.
yeah.
He was
that guy was
awesome.
badass. Yeah.
Fuck, he was awesome.
So you guys were clearly at the same show.
Yeah, I think so.
Definitely.
Well, I think it was like a couple of nights. So,
But
I
at the
don't-
same
I don't
time,
know.
what
But
year?
it must
What
have
year?
been because I don't think the dude would buy a ticket for each show to tune Robert Fripp the exact same thing.
yeah. No, then that's totally true. Yeah.
Wait,
Fucking
wait,
rad,
2012.
No, 4.
Gareth, we're having a moment.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, you can carry on.
Okay, the one thing that I've picked up, I know I don't really know Robert Fripp.
King
But
Crimson.
isn't this the same dude who's been like uploading weird
Yeah,
videos with his wife Toya?
Yeah.
Have you seen some of
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shit,
yeah.
bro? That's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy. They're like completely have taken to the whole social media vibe.
Yeah. I thought it was
she's
amazing.
like half naked half
because
the
he's
time.
like he's got way more Gears on that shit than that show that I saw.
Yeah.
Like, I was this oak's about
listen,
to keel
let's be
over
honest,
on
I
his
think she's got
basketball.
the most gears. Big time.
Nah, but I
and
Have you
Dude.
seen
love
those
Steve
videos,
Vai.
dude?
No, I have not.
Yeah,
No, but I love Steve Vai, that show. He fucking sold it for me. There's like he's
Yeah, he
he's
did this whole
ace.
like Ebo thing and shit. That was
It
rad.
was great. But the other thing I wanted to mention earlier, you mentioned your first gig
Oh man.
and
it
your
was so
first sound
stressful.
check. Like, Charles, what
I
was
froze.
your first ever gig, like on stage ever? What was that like?
I was in like high school with my mate Robbie. I think we played like a show. It wasn't a show. It was like some, I don't know, they had some fashion thing or some shit. And then we were just playing guitar and Robbie had like a Zoom 707 with like the built-in like drum kit sounds. And I was like playing rhythm and he was playing like the lead vibe of like Sultans of Swing, no vocals or anything.
No.
And then I was like, we got to play some Black Sabbath, man. Or something. Yeah, so that was pretty much, I think, the first. Yeah.
But your first live show ever?
Yeah. That was like in front of the school or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, mine was the same. I was also in a school. But what was your first gig at like any venue outside of school?
I was
That
probably
too, I wanna hear
like
that as well.
filling in for someone in either Doppler effect or AB. Yeah, Doppler effect.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm still mates with all of them, but it was like a revolving joke. Well, it was like a returning joke of like, I would just be like the fill-in for everyone that left. So
Oh,
like
the band
both guitarists and bassists. And then we'll go to like rehearsals and stuff and it'd be like, dude, I know these songs better than you guys do because I know them from like
That's awesome.
3 different vantage points or whatever.
But that's how I felt with you coming into your system. You knew all the songs.
Oh, I knew, not like
Yeah, but you didn't know
Exact.
them intricately, but
No.
you still knew the songs, which makes
It helps.
a little bit easier, right?
it definitely helps. Yeah.
But yeah, Charles, you are a little bit of a fill-in. Like you filled in with us and stuck around for 3 years with
Yeah.
Atlantic South. Yeah, and we wrote some cool shit, dude.
Yeah.
We wrote some cool shit, and we actually have plans to finish some of it.
Yeah. I think we should.
Yeah,
I mean, I
especially
bought all
now
these
that
amps.
he's
so-
got rid of the Kemper. You know.
Follow up.
He's like, oh, he went all digital on us, and I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done now. Follow up. What was your most embarrassing, or at least biggest technical failure? You could probably put in the same thing there. What is your most biggest
That's a good
example
question.
like that? Because I've got quite a few
Yeah,
of
yeah,
these
of
fucking
course,
stories
even me.
myself. Yeah.
but nowhere near as much as you guys
Alcohol helps.
Hey.
Alcohol helps not
Okay.
to be so concerned with. Like, I mean, I still get like nervous in some ways, but it's normally before the show.
Uh-huh.
Did I bring all the stuff I needed to bring?
That's what I think.
Blah
every
blah
time.
blah. Yeah. But that's like as soon as I get on stage. I mean, you know, like now with the Rockefellers and stuff, I'm in total different like costume, and I mean it just like helps. But I don't know if something goes wrong. There's like you with decent people. I'm not a lead vocalist, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing that could happen is that there's no guitar solo, or like, or there's no like guitar happening. But you just solve it as quick as you can. You know? I've never had like an amp that goes down where it's like I can no longer play an
Yeah.
entire show. It might be like broken string. Okay, cool. That's like 2 minutes. Blah blah blah. You know, I don't really get freaked out by that shit. So.
Yeah, because like my first gig was also at a high school, but it was a talent show, and we played 2 originals. And as we start playing the song, it starts off like the guitar player Jonathan doing like a D sequence, whatever, and then his strap pops off his guitar. So he's like,
Oh yeah.
he's like, has to
Instant
put it back up.
Nirvana,
yeah,
yeah.
and then start again, and we're like, oh fuck, whatever. But the thing is, our singer at the time, he decided on the night that he's going to change how he sings everything.
Oh no!
And he also was singing through a bass amp because like
Yeah.
so it was just the vocals through a bass amp
Without the tweeter turned on.
yeah no. And I've got video footage of it, but that was my first gig at a venue. I didn't bring any sticks or cymbals or anything because I didn't know that's what you're supposed to do. So I had to borrow everything from the drummer, but it was okay because it was only the 2 bands at the venue and the bar staff. But the first gig that we ever put on, my own band that we put on, we didn't have a PA. So the singer went to his parents' house, brought over the hi-fi system. We used that as a PA.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounded like shit, but
Yeah.
it was fucking jawling, dude. It was
Yeah.
rad.
You know, PAs, like you bought I mean, I've got one still in my garage, yeah.
I've
I've still got a
Yeah.
8-channel mixer, still got the PA, it's a powered mixer, and I've got 15
So useful
monitors.
these days.
No, not at all. I mean, how long did you use my PA for?
Yeah.
And then you got the Laney ones that were Bluetooth.
Well, I've got JBL Eon set as well that I haven't ever used live.
So you never used that PA?
I used it back in the day when I was a little bit reckless and I didn't care what my neighbors thought. But
So what are you going to do with it now?
we can do stuff with it. It's there. I'm not going to sell it or anything. I'm not going to get anything.
That's what I was getting towards.
Or do you want it?
Well, because like with deadbeats, we might need a PA every now and again.
If you want my JBL Eon, they're active.
Listen, his are going to be
Sell
better
them,
than
I'll sell
mine.
them both to you for $6,000.
Okay, I'll chat to the band. I'm still going to find 69 grand for a
Check
fucking
out Charles.
TD50.
Check Captain Marketplace here making deals
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
fucking podcast. How is that? That is unbelievable. Charles,
You know,
you
girls-
only wheel and deal when the cameras are off and the lights are down.
Yeah.
He's making deals.
By the time
already.
you see this, it's probably not sold.
No, but to be honest with you, another thing that I get a message, yo, what the fuck, da da da. He sends me a photo. It's a PV XXX on sale for 1,900 rand with the foot switch, cable,
Yeah.
everything.
Wow.
It's like a 20 grand amp.
Yeah.
Cash
For
Crusaders.
1,900 rand in Blackheath
Yeah.
Cash Crusaders.
Like, sorry, it sold this morning. I was like,
Of
fuck.
course it was sold this morning.
I still have to watch all these YouTube videos.
I've got a conspiracy theory. I think Cash
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 Crusaders.
Crusaders needs to be investigated because maybe they have like a other operation where they're like, okay, go steal expensive shit.
Yeah.
We can
Well,
sell
when
it.
I had my gear stolen, I went to all the Cash Crusaders with the printouts of serial numbers that I could find and pictures of the gear, and none of it turned up anyway.
Dude, I got a Roland Studio Capture 16 input worth 25,000
Yeah,
rand
for 3.5.
For 3.5.
Yeah, I saw a
Through
PreSonus.
Charles. He was my dealer.
I saw there's a PreSonus 2-channel interface at the Crusaders down here for like $600.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
I mean, that's
also,
alright
you get
for
these
like a
weird
la-
gems
yeah.
that just pop up from nowhere.
Yeah. It's, you know what I find now with Facebook? It's rad, but to get people to reply to you, it's like, it's a problem. And also when it's like out in the middle of nowhere, there's no number, you're like, I need to go
But
get
you
it
feel
now.
like everybody's a scam artist.
Yeah.
Everyone's a fucking scam. The worst thing is when they put the ad up and they go like, this is use an example, Marshall 80 watt, and then just for sale, and then it's just like in the body is like for sale, and the location is other and nothing. And just one
Yeah.
like smudgy picture, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
Or they're like, I'm going to send an Uber driver there. I live in Sri Lanka. That I've got a second aunt's cousin's grandchild that
Like, did you
really needs
Yeah.
this random
It's
thing.
insane. Did you hear about this chick, Ashley Oosthuizen? This girl has been sentenced to, first off, the death penalty. Then she got her sentence reduced to life in prison for drug trafficking charges, where she accepted a package, but she didn't know what was in the package. She signed for it, and then now she's in jail. She's been in jail for the last 2 years.
Where
South African
though?
chick in Thailand.
oh, Thailand, yeah, dude, Thailand,
Yeah. They've,
dodge.
those laws. It's like I spent 30 days in Thailand. I was shit scared every single time I was there. I didn't know what, like, I
Sounds
just
like
didn't want to
Joburg.
step a foot wrong. We were fairly rowdy while we were there, but now if I went back, I'd be like, holy shit! Like, you gotta watch yourself up. Everything you touch, because you can
Yeah,
get
but
caught,
that's-
and it's not about bona fide evidence. It's about, were you caught with so and so, such and such?
But do you know
You find.
did you read the whole story?
I did.
So
I
it
went
was
through
like
the
her
whole
boyfriend and stuff
Yes,
that
yeah.
like owned a shop.
But then he ducked off to the Ukraine to study medicine,
Yeah.
and
yeah, but
yeah. Apparently, I read that whole website. It was called freeashley.org. And I read the entire thing, and it's his mate Sergey, and then there's this other chap, involved David.
Sounds like the Tinder swindler.
And he was working at a school, and he would get the drugs delivered to the school, and then when the school retrenched him, he started a coffee shop and hired this chick. She accepted the package, and now he's in another country.
What a dick.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how we got to that again. I'm the king of segues.
Yeah, dude, you are amazing at it.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
I'm sorry. What can I do?
No, you Gareth.
Yeah. Speaking of crazy shit, what's happening in bloody Russia and Ukraine at the moment?
I have
It's
no
insane.
idea what's happening. What's happening?
Old Dungus is Putin in the work, and he's getting his tanks and everywhere. They invading Ukraine, Russia.
Oh, really?
Dude, it's
I didn't know that
nuts.
Oak was that old. I was watching a news thing, and they were saying he was 73, and on Google he was 69.
That's nice.
I reckon he's just 69 all the time.
Who's this Vladimir?
Yeah, but I think
Dude, this
he's
is causing all types of shit. You know, all these.
I think he's probably just like, fuck it, you know. If I live for another X amount of years, I'm gonna do what I always wanted to do. Let's go, boy.
But what's in the Ukraine for him to go after it, though?
I am not familiar of.
It's quite a rich thing. They got like one of the number one uranium deposits in the whole of Europe.
Uranium.
I thought you
Isn't
meant
that like
Ukrainian.
weapon stuff?
Well, for nuclear
Yeah.
weapons and stuff. You know what's weird? Imagine it's just every 100 years we just repeat the same shit.
Yeah, but
So
people are
last-
saying like things like World War III and stuff. And
No,
that
that's
makes
what
me
I'm
scared.
saying. Check last 100 years, there was Spanish flu. Now we got COVID. There was World War One. Now we maybe got World War Three.
Oh my god!
Like, imagine how weird that would be if it was just
patterns.
Well, if that's the case, then the Americans should be having another depression this decade because they had it in the
Oh,
20s.
shit. Well, in that case, like and subscribe.
Well, we have it. Make us a little less depressed.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
Meow meow.
would you live 100 years ago? You know, would you even think about like how life would be 100 years ago?
Yeah.
It's such
'Cause,
a
like-
weird contextual question.
I know it is
you know,
because like people, you know,
because they didn't have cell phones and they
Well,
got
besides
along
that.
doing their thing. You know,
I mean,
now
like-
everybody's got like when we were in school, there was not even cell phones and shit. We had pages and stuff like that. Like
You
at
had
the really
pages?
at the really beginning, in the real beginning.
yeah.
You know, like there was no such thing as WhatsApp, BBM. Even remember BBM? All that shit. There was none of that
Pages,
stuff when
bro.
I was in.
Yeah,
when
but
I was in
dude, I
school.
mean, like 100 years ago.
You and I are 20 years this year. Sorry,
20 years one.
2002.
Yeah.
22.
20,
20 years
yeah,
out of
yeah.
school. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but dude, like 100 years ago, they like medical stuff. They would send you and just chuck you in a big vat of boiling water because that would, you know,
Yeah.
do stuff to you. They would give you enemas with like that's like the guy Kellogg's
Electric shock therapy.
electric
and
shock
all that.
therapy, all that shit.
Oh, you're gay. Okay.
Hey,
let's
we got our
electrocute
audience
you.
back. You
yeah,
know,
we got our laugh track.
because everyone goes like, "Oh, I would love to live in the 20s or the 30s or the 50s." It's like, yeah, but do you actually want to? I don't think so.
yeah.
But it's quite weird because our lifetime we've had no internet, no cell phones, and then experiencing all of that, which is quite a cool position to be in, I feel. Because I
Yeah,
remember walking to my mate's place, couldn't remember his... I mean, I had to have their numbers in my head.
yeah. I still
know,
know a few numbers from
You
back
just
in the
like
day.
walk to a friend's house, you know.
But then again, like in the 20s, you know, comic
yeah,
books were coming up, so kids were reading comic books, and they'd be like, you know, 10 years ago we didn't have like picture stories and things like that. So it's
No,
all
of
relative.
course. No. But I mean, I think with the turn of like the internet, I think it's a big like difference of like people that are born now. They have no understanding of what it's like to struggle
20
to
years ago.
find information.
Yeah.
I think
You
it's
know.
actually it's somewhat a bit of a fuck up, to be honest with you, because I've got nieces and nephews and stuff, and any kid I see, they get gifted the biggest iPads, phones, Minecraft, and all these Candy Crush, all these weird games. kids are spending more time on their tablets than in the sun outside.
They're gonna need glasses
doing
very
activities.
PlayStation thumbs, bro.
Yeah, well, it's the thumb.
Yeah.
We were called the thumb. Was it the generation after us, or was it?
sinking down necks?
Yeah.
Bad eyesight.
Yeah, we're
Sorry.
turning into prawns, man.
Yeah, prawns.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like a lot of these kids I see, they just straight up lap, and the parents, they're like, okay, cool, they are kept. What do you call it?
Entertained,
engaged.
Yeah.
Thank you, Demi. Off camera, we got our laugh track.
Yeah,
today.
dude, like when I was like 12 even, I'd be out in Musenberg on my skateboard with some friends.
Yeah.
And we come home at like after dark.
with a
and the parents-
skateboard, spray
and the-
tan for the tag.
And the parents would be like, where the hell have you guys been? It's like, oh, we're just skating. It's like, come on, the food's getting cold. Nowadays, if you just go out the door, it's like, where the fuck are you going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When this light goes on, you better fucking be.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about coming home. When you're home, there'll be a microwave meal ready for you.
There was a comedian who said, like, you know, when
What's
I
a microwave?
there was a comedian who said, like, when I was a kid, I'd just like get out the front door and bolt, and I wouldn't see my folks for like 10 hours. But nowadays, if I leave my house without my wallet, I have a heart attack. I need to go to the doctor. I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh."
dude. You know, back in the day, there used to be. I don't know why it feels different. I used to live in this area when I was a kid, and I used to Ross, dude. Ross lives like.
Yeah, but you don't see
Perpendicular,
any like older teenagers walking around in the street.
No, but
you know, like
No,
that's
I
the
used to
weird
put
thing.
a.
It's
I
like-
used to put an. I used to take a black bag full of new clothes, and I used to put a black bag over my clothes, and I used to skateboard to his house from my house, get there absolutely drenched, have a shower, and get into my clothes and spend the rest of the day there.
Yeah.
Like that shit doesn't happen nowadays.
No, that's what I mean. Is everyone's driven from A to B.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see. I used to like walk around with my mates at fucking like 12 o'clock at night. We weren't even drinking.
digging graves.
We were just
apparently.
like knocking post boxes off the wall and
Yeah,
like playing talkie and all this kind of
This
Yeah.
shit.
is the dress that there was a rumor going around that Charles, back in the day, him and his cousin were going around digging graves. It's not true.
Bro, I'm way too lazy.
digging
for that.
graves is
You
a
know,
euphemism.
But there
Yeah,
was one.
yeah.
There was a rumor back.
I've been
in the
digging
day.
graves for myself all my life. On
That's
Facebook.
amazing. But yeah, I remember when all those rumors started going. Dude, that's 25 years ago.
I think that's because I wore a trench coat and I like Marilyn Manson.
Oh, well, you were a trench coat guy.
But I used to like, my mates, so if you have a vending machine, we used to like get salt water. Salt water. And if you pour it down the coin slot, you can like short circuit the machine and all the money used to come out. So we'd have like cotton wool and put it in the coin receipt thing. And the thing would like fuck out and all the money would basically be returned. So I used to like walk around with Wade and do naughty shit. And so that's why I was wearing a trench coat because all these guys.
Were you one of those guys who like walk up to guys and be like, "Oh, you want this one?"
Yeah.
Or do you
The
want that one?
naughtiest, the naughtiest thing I ever did was like in high school. We were at a mate's house in Musenberg, and it was like 9 o'clock at night or some shit. And we decided to like go walk around and look for any cars that had a Transvaal license plate.
Okay.
And we found a few, and we flattened all their tires. And then like someone came to pick us up, and then said like there was a guy at the petrol station just swearing that someone flattened all his tires. We're like, can't say anything. It
Yeah,
was
bro.
us.
Well,
Sorry.
if we're gonna confess about those kinds of things,
Yeah.
I got in huge trouble.
You're a good boy.
No, what?
No, I'm
I got in
joking.
massive trouble when I was a kid. I think I was about 12, 13.
Yeah.
So,
and
like,
I started
6
mixing
months
with
ago.
these dudes, and somehow I don't know how car badges became the latest greatest thing
Did
to
you
collect.
take Mercedes badges and BM badges and all that shit?
Bro, it was so bad. Like
No.
but listen, I
It
got
was so
called into
bad,
my
just-
parents got called in.
Oh, wow.
I just got sucked
You
into
got
a
caught.
bad. I got caught, yeah. And I went to the headmaster's office with like 8 pairs of underwear on. Because that was back in the day when corporal punishment
You
was
needed
still,
the homework book.
Yeah, so he had the thing called the Excalibur.
Like, you got a
It was
hard
like
ass,
this
boy.
Excalibur was like a mass. It was like a sword.
The worst is the thin ones.
No, was it? Yeah, it was
Now
a
they used to have
sword-shaped
those
cricket
small
bat.
cricket bats.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
one. But this one was really long, so he couldn't
Yeah.
miss.
No, our
and the
teachers had a
further
thin
away
one.
he stood, the harder it
Are you
felt.
not disguising this with a
and
penis
he-
in your mind?
Oh, and also they made us put our heads under his desk.
I think
So,
so
you
you
would get
can't get
smacked
away.
and you would hit your head on the
Jesus
back of
Christ.
it. Yeah.
That's
Did you
Yeah,
take
fuck yeah. Look at me now.
did you take notches out of your tie for all the jacks that you got?
No,
Because that's what we did.
hadn't got that
he
stage.
went to like feel the bumps on their heads at the end of the session.
No, because like,
It's
Listen, I mean, I don't regret shit. I mean, I didn't want it to happen to me in the first place, but
I didn't get
taught
jacks.
me some sort of discipline for sure.
I didn't get
I
jacks.
don't
but-
condone it these days because everybody's a
Hey,
pussy.
I think Jack should come back because it just makes for cooler stories.
Yeah, man. Like how that story will probably not be told. It'll disappear in the
Yeah.
next 20 years.
I didn't get any jacks, but there was dudes at school that would
I was
take
naughty as
take
fuck.
Not in
notches-
Russia.
like notches out of their ties every
Oh,
time
really?
they got a jack.
Yeah.
So it'd be like you take out one notch, and
But
then you
jacks
see
are
like
different.
lines.
Jacks were with like the shambok. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thin,
That's
thin
different.
bamboo rod.
Yeah, that's like that.
Yeah.
What's that book?
Don't show
No,
your
that
age,
book,
bro.
the book, The Power of One,
Yeah.
with the old what's his name?
Pus Conradi.
No, what was his name? What did they call him? Anyway,
Naya.
like no. All right, this is going off the rails. But there was a piss corp. They used to
Corp.
pee on him.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
Oh wow.
A Power of One.
What,
Wilbur Smith.
soggy
Was it
head,
Wilbur
Maury?
Please look it up.
Oh,
'cause
my
I'm gonna feel
my
like
dad hates Wilbur Smith.
Yeah, but
He
the Power
feels
of
it.
Run. That was a really,
No,
really
that's
powerful.
way old,
Is it Wilbur Smith though?
as far as I know.
Just look it up on your phone.
Yeah, why does my voice sound so good?
You know what I got bussed for? It wasn't at school. It was after school.
Where are you going? Stay there.
I used to with a mate of mine shoplift at the Checkers,
Oof.
and I got a few. There was still cassettes, and we were like when we started. I mean, I only stole like 3, but still 3. But like they used to have just the cassettes, and then they put them in those big, thick plastic, backing cards and shit.
Yeah.
And we used to like cram it in the front here and then walk, and then the corners be digging into the legs.
Yeah.
I got Metallica Black that way, and I can't remember the other stuff. I lost them. But when I got caught was actually when I just stole a chocolate bar. And then they caught me and went to the back. They phoned my parents. My dad came to like pick me up, and like on the way home, he was like this, and I went like, I need some help with maths homework later. He goes,
Never
There's
in
so
a million
much
years.
shit. Yeah,
Dude, I used to do the same. Like maybe when I was 14 or something, I used to have like the hair like to here because
yeah.
like as long as you could get at a public
at
school.
school, yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
I had like like the long sleeve
Bryce
shirt
Courtney.
and then the t-shirt over the long sleeve
Yeah,
shirt
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing. And there was at Cavendish, what was it? Something music.
It was
It was like that huge fuck off shop.
yeah.
And so they used to have those, those like plastic things that would like pick up the magnetics for the, the whatever, the
Yeah,
barcode.
the little
or
bar
whatever.
that's in the
But
case.
at the very end, like there would be a space where there was nothing. Yeah. So I used to just like put that up my long sleeve shirt and like just side slink down. So like maybe like 4 CDs like that, whatever. I was like, it's not hurting the artist, man.
Did you get bust though? No.
No,
Lucky. It sucks getting busted.
I got bust when I was like 4
Oh, no.
or 6 or something like that.
I was 16 when I got bust, and that feeling when the guy just puts his hand on your shoulder, and you know you got something there. Just
You're
goes
like,
"Dush," it's like,
Dad.
dude, you die. You die for a second. My heart stopped beating.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, somehow I don't feel like that whole sneaking out vibe back in the day was really a good idea because, I remember the first time I snuck out, it was such a mission to get out of the house because it was like Fort Knox. I had to sneak out the window, then I had to jump over the fence, but over the electric fencing and all that shit. And then I would trek from my house all the way up to Belvedere Road, the train park. I don't know if anybody knows that place.
Yeah.
And then I'd meet
drink
all my
crackling
mates.
there all the
And
time.
we used to all we used to do was smoke cigarettes. And it's like, we weren't getting drunk or anything.
Yeah.
Like,
You get a head rush, bro.
then then I see, I'm
Just
walking home.
feels. Fuck,
I'm
man.
walking home. And then I see my parents had my sisters had just got their learner's license, and my parents bought them both a Golf Chico to share.
Uh-huh.
So I'm walking home. It's 3-4 in the morning, and it's a weekend night, whatever. And then I see this Golf Chico going, and then it starts slowing down. Fuck! It's my mom and my dad looking for me.
Oh, shit.
They realize that the pillars are not me. And I'm sitting there and I'm stinking like cigarettes, and I brought a banana to
Try and get rid of the smell.
I know. I took a banana. I took a fucking banana to hide the cigarette smoke just in case. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And they caught me with the box of cigarettes, and they took me home, and it was the most embarrassing early morning I've ever had in my entire life. My dad cut up the box of cigarettes. I'm like, no, because I'm probably gonna buy more.
Free money,
And it's your money.
Can I just?
Yeah,
I
go for it,
remember.
go
I
for it.
remember my mom was away. Speaking about bananas,
Your mom and bananas.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you.
she was away,
Go.
and then I was like, so I used to read this anarchist cookbook
Yes.
kind of thing or whatever, because back in the day, you didn't have that much internet. It was I think 15 rand an hour.
Yeah, where the
to
shit
go
just
on
used
the
to go like
internet.
this.
And you'd be like, okay, I could go on the internet for an hour, maybe.
Listen to me an
whatever.
hour.
Longest
an
jerk
hour.
obsession
We've
ever.
got to go. We've got to go.
Yeah.
So we found that you could skin the skin of bananas and then boil them down and smoke it or whatever.
Oh yes, yeah, banana
Right.
cigarettes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We tried that.
No, but it could get you high. It wasn't
Yeah.
it was different. So I
Yeah.
was sitting there, my mom, and then she came back early.
Fuck,
I was like, fuck it, mom. What are you doing? Cramping my style, bro. Anyway, she came back early, and I was gonna go smoke shit in the park. And she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, no. You know,
It's a school project.
you're so young, you have no, you don't know how to lie, or you don't know what the fuck to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, I used to try and do that when I was small as well. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to go in my room now.
I used to steal my dad's car before we had a gate. So I would steal the keys, and it'd be the longest escape ever. You know, you out the door, and it's
Yeah.
tiny, and then I would because you could open the car with the key. It'd be super slow.
It's like coming
I put
home
the
drunk
car
in the kitchen.
neutral. I would roll it out as far as I could, and I'm fucking sweating. And then I start the car in a reverse way, and I drive out, and I come back later. I used to do that all the time. I'm surprised I never got caught.
Not under this
Look, I
roof.
made it 3 blocks this time.
Yeah, I stole my sister's Golf Chico a couple of times, but yeah, my dad back in the day, he was pretty intimidating, dude. I didn't want to piss him off too much.
I reckon he knew he was gonna. I'm
Yeah.
gonna catch him, but I know what he does.
Yeah, man. I'm in the golden handcuffs. I'm I still work with
The
him and
Howard
shit like that.
Mafia.
Yeah. That's it. And he still knows how to keep me in check this many years later. What's Charlie doing?
I want a pee break.
You want a pee break? Okay, cool.
let's take a break.
Okay, cool. Break.
This is how we do things around here. Oh, shit.
Right, since we were talking about getting in trouble with schools and parents and all that kind of stuff, the one time I was caught for some shit with some mates and all that kind of jazz, and stop it, Charles. I can check him just caressing his drink there.
My baby.
And the headmaster, as well as my grade head or standard head back in
Head.
the day, head. You said head, yeah.
Dick.
They called me into a meeting with my parents, and they said, no, these people are not good for you, blah, 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 blah. And my dad still to this day says, dude, I'm so proud of you, of what your response was when they were telling you all the stuff. And I never thought it was very significant at the time. And then they refreshed my memory recently, and they said, you know what you said in that meeting? And I said, no, I can't remember. And they said, even though you believe that these people are not right for me, maybe you should consider it in the other sense that I may be right for them. At fucking 14 years old. I was 14 years old. And that was my response to the headmaster and the grade head, to say maybe they're not right for me, but maybe I'm right for them. And that left my parents stumped. She said, listen to the man.
Do you remember anything of what they said to you after you said that?
My parents just were, they just said to me that they were, okay, all right.
He's playing background music.
Yeah. Okay. And they said that was one of their proudest moments of having me as a kid, that I responded in such a way that they didn't need to say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a mic drop there, dude.
Yeah. And I can't believe I did that at 14 years. I definitely can't remember it. And it was
that was
1999. It was the 27th of July, 1999. I've already said that. Charles Knighton-Pullin was on the violin. Nicholas Small was on the drums.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's more amazing. I think it's even more amazing than amazing. So I want you to get out there on that field.
Oh, yeah.
That field of life. You go tell your parents. So.
You don't lose, you learn.
Yeah. I was expecting it to go to like a sports version of Braveheart. They may take your weekend away.
Yeah.
No, but that's a positive story in the sense that
that's a great comeback.
For instance, the other day I saw Cape Town, etc., the blog magazine vibe. They uploaded a video of these South African kids in uniform smoking a bit of weed, drinking some beer, and smoking some cigarettes. And they're all condemning it, like, oh, this is what our society's come to.
Well, we did
blah,
that.
blah, blah. Thank you. Please and thank you. And I've commented, and I got a lot of responses to say, dude, this fucking happened when I was at school.
Yeah, but those Karens did it as well.
The only
exactly.
difference is that there was no one who had a camera phone. Also, no one dumb enough to film it.
Exactly.
And they probably didn't come from Constantia High School. And
Yeah.
They were actually probably the worst.
How's this?
Yeah.
The one girl commented and she was like, "Amen, Gareth," and she obviously tagged me in a response. "Amen, Gareth Howard." And I went to a convent school. And I went and clicked through to a profile, Springfield Convent.
Yeah. Oh, should have been like, go! I don't want to have sex with you no matter how you try.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's like, dudes, you got to realize what happened in the past and what happens now. Just the difference is people have cameras and internet. That shit was happening yonks ago.
Yeah. I mean, I know kids.
Calm down. The kids,
and probably even worse.
All I want to say is the kids.
worse,
the kids still have a future, regardless of what they're getting up to now, because every kid goes through that shit.
Yeah, when I was in school, there was buttons and mandrax and all that shit
Jeez,
going
you
on.
should actually be thankful that. But now there's Molly and mushrooms and all that.
All that shit was still there.
Yeah, it was still there.
It's just got a different name.
Listen, Charles,
and it's weaker.
I cannot pronounce that because I've never been involved in any of that shit.
You
but I think
what happened to the beer drinking segment?
We didn't get any beers today.
Well, we know we also didn't.
Well, this is Hunters.
We also know that you don't drink beer.
I do now, actually.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
I mean,
I've changed my ways again.
So we cater each episode for every guest, and for today's episode, I knew to have hairspray available.
Sick.
Nice cover.
So
hairspray.
Listen, there's only so many things you can have on your tech rider, and I had hairspray. Didn't have beer. But I know
my
you
tech
don't drink beer,
rider was Golang and Python.
Okay.
Maybe a bit of front end.
Six Panther.
Tech rider.
Tech rider.
Tech. Like coding. Shit.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, well, listen.
Yeah,
that's something that we need to address right now, actually.
Next time.
No, because Charles has had a change of career. The one thing that we know about our beloved Charles KP, Charles Knighton-Pullin, a.k.a. Blaze of the Rockefellers.
Can't make money anymore
is
arguing on Facebook.
Is that he was a musician. He is a musician.
Yes.
And that was his passion. He was teaching, he was gigging, and that's how he was making his dollar. And we're going to strip it down and get a little bit serious now, right? Because this is something that a lot of other people deal with, like this motherfucker right here.
Doing a Justin Bieber.
Yeah,
What's that?
yeah.
Is that what he does?
Cover
Yeah.
photos, bro.
Okay, yeah, go.
And you were forced at your mid-30s. Well, you weren't forced. You chose to, but
Late 30.
you chose to change. Okay,
Make
I was giving you a little bit of a...
I know, but make it more impressive. I'm even older now.
But you changed
By
your
plus 2
industry,
years.
and now you are actually making music for fun, and you have a full-time job. You are doing software development and all that kind of stuff. Dude, give us a little bit of a color commentary of how that whole transition has been, because you're in one of the best moods I've seen you in years.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, well, no money forces you to do different things. So I used to code when I was at high school and stuff. Didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but it like gave me, an understanding. And then I used to live with a lot of mates who were like really successful, like worked for Facebook, and yeah, and I was like trying to get back into it a little bit, but yeah, when this like happened, like I had like maybe like 170 gigs booked for, when was it, 2020?
Yeah.
And then like that just went away. So I had like no income, nothing. And I was like, what the fuck?
And also, school shut down and all that jazz. You weren't teaching.
Yeah, there was some like online, like whatever. But as soon as I heard 50 people, I was like, this is the fucking end. And then I was just like, oh, Jesus. So it's like a very different experience to other people who've had jobs that were like inconvenienced. And, obviously people have things that were totally different. Like, their family member died or something like that. I didn't have any of that, so that's fine for me in that way. But, it's just like pretty nuts that you can go from like, okay, greatest year, like awesome, quitting most of my teaching to go play like live all the time. And no, none of that for you anymore. Boom. But then like you still need to make money. And it's like, if I didn't have a girlfriend or partner who I had that, it like I'd probably be like on the streets or something. Meow, meow, meow. But yeah, I mean, it's like so many people probably had it way worse. But at some point, you just have to do something. So I just decided to study all of last year.
But you took to it super well as well. Like it seems
Yeah.
like it seems seamless to someone like me. But obviously, it took a lot of work, a lot of study, and all that jazz. But I mean, I think that's something that you can rub off on other people who are in the same position.
Yeah. Look, if
it's never too late to change your vibe and do your thing.
Motivational speech.
There we go. Look at this camera.
I'm looking at all of you.
No, there we go. That one.
All of you. It's never too late. Start on my course today. My course will bring you empowerment.
We are busy being taken down by YouTube.
You'll go into a business meeting. You'll never feel like.
Yeah.
The best thing is talking way over the microphone. You can probably not hear anything.
Yeah, sorry. I got it in my throat.
Yeah. It's not a lavalier, okay? Just calm
Well,
down.
it is a BMW, so
Yeah, but dude,
it should go that far.
You're still playing with the Rockefellers though, so there's an uptick happening, eh? Because I've noticed an uptick.
No, we played like quite a few shows now. Really awesome band. If you ever get a chance, come watch our shows, but they're always sold out, so...
They're always sold
I
out.
can say the same
So
thing for the
buy early,
Deadbeats. I can say the same thing for the Deadbeats. Every show we've had at Cafe Rue has been sold out.
Nice.
It's amazing. You, both of you.
Yeah.
It's like, ill system, we can't get anybody.
Yeah. We are playing at with Just Ginger on the 10th of
sick.
April.
Just Jingles.
Nice.
Yeah. Just
And you still go by Blaze, eh?
My name is Blaze.
Yeah, there we go. But it's super cool that the main point of it, it's now that's a passion for you. Now that's something that get to do for fun. It's not something that you have a worry
Fun and
about.
money. Fun
Yeah,
and
it's not-
money
it's not-
and hookers
exactly.
over 70.
Exactly.
Right.
Hookers
And-
over 70.
Yeah, I mean, hookers under 70 are no good. So,
No.
you know, it is what it is.
Too tight.
When I forget to pay them, at least they're too slow moving to the car, so I can get away from them. That's the good thing about old hookers. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have to pay them, and you can run away from
Exactly.
them. Yeah.
Exactly.
They're like, "Come back here, boy."
Yeah, if you want to get rid of them, it's very easy.
Hey, do
just
I
to
pay?
walk away.
Do I
Yeah,
pay
yeah.
extra for the Zimmer frame?
I don't know. I actually personally say no Zimmer frames in the room because
Oh,
it can
really?
be a weapon.
Yeah,
they
exactly, it
get angry
can.
when they forget where they are.
Yeah.
You know.
Shit.
Me love you long time.
Yeah. Oh my word. This is going off the rails, but dude, it's super cool to see you having like an element vibe in the sense that you've got your, you know what, we've said this the whole time. Our jobs keep us paid, and the hobbies keep you entertained, satisfied, happy.
Yeah.
You know,
I never had that.
it's like
dude.
that second outlet. Now that
Yeah.
your main stick is now your second outlet.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's
But-
the most important thing to like realize.
But
Like,
I've never had that like the whole time. It's
I know,
always
but
been-
isn't it so cool for
you
you? I
go
mean,
and
how was that Cape
play-
Town 10 show?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
I mean, it
But-
was huge.
But I would always go like, how much money am I making off this?
Yeah.
It would always be, you know, it's like when you go to the grocery store and you make X amount of money and you don't like your job, then you complain about how much money you're getting. You go to the grocery store, you buy something, you complain about how much your money gets you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like this loop of
Complaining.
non-gratitude. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
And now I can be like grateful for,
Totally.
I make some money from it, but I just love doing it because I also really dig what I'm doing now. So it's just like double love.
Yes, but the cost of living has
Cut that
got,
one out.
like nuts.
Yeah. That's a whole loaded shtick now, dude.
It cost
Fucking
me
nice,
what
forget it.
$800 to fill my car the other day. I mean,
800 cost me,
Segway.
it cost me 1,000.
yeah. I mean, what the?
Actually,
mean,
just over 1,120.
That's insane to me. That is insane. Yeah.
Show off.
Yeah.
Don't
It's a
you
little
just
tiny
fill it
car.
with cherries?
$500.
Tiny
So
car.
that was the old
Oh,
car.
but your car's. Okay, no, my car is huge, so it's my own fault. But yeah, it's my own fault. So there we go.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I don't think there's anything else for us. I mean, we're not going to go into the sports and stuff. We can cover sports. Shout out to a couple of our active listeners. Adrian,
Yo, Adrian.
AIDS drums. Shout out to Julian Emden. Shout out to Pete Hansen, especially Pete Hansen, dude. He's someone pushing for us to get more UFC content out there.
Yeah.
And so I really want to try and commit, and let's agree on this now on camera, so we've got it as a contract. Let's preview UFC, the next UFC, Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal, and then we review it as well. I think it'll be great content. This is another way that you dig it, but you don't know the ins and outs, right?
Yeah.
And this is a way that you can learn, and we can. You can do it.
Do it,
And we can
Bacardi
build
and
a little,
Cola.
a portion of the podcast where we can review fights and watch them, and you can learn, and I can learn.
Yeah. And the
So
revenue from the videos
yeah.
we can donate to his groceries
There we go.
cause.
There we go. So yeah,
I'm going to
definitely
buy my yacht
some
immediately.
previews and some post shows of the pay-per-views, the UFC pay-per-views, maybe some other stuff. We'll mix in a little bit of other sport in those episodes, but this was too much fun. Charles KP, Charles Knighton-Pullin, aka Blaze from the Rockefellers. When is your next gig, dude?
We're playing this Saturday in London.
Well, I mean, that's not this.
Sold out. Actually, oversold
There's no
out.
point in advertising because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
sold
it's-
out.
There was
yeah.
gonna be like 2 people there.
It's-
Now there's 3 people.
It's not gonna.
My grandmother
video is
said
coming
that
out
she could come
after that,
late
so
minute.
Yeah.
Let's.
Well,
Unfortunately,
he's
Thanks, Gareth.
played past Saturday.
yeah. But anyway, for myself, for my illustrious co-host Arthur Carlos Diego Pereira, aka Art Pereira,
The
and Charles
third.
Knighton-Pullin, and the laugh track Democrania. This is Papa G's house, 100.
14.
We're out.
Baby.
I don't wanna go anywhere else. I wanna go to Bubba Jesus. Yeah, that's where we're going.